Hey there, beautiful people. I hope everybody's happy and healthy in these weird days. I'm walking around in my garden right here in France, so I'm fortunate enough to be frolicking around outside. But for all you people who are in lockdown inside your house and can't really get out or do anything creative, I've got 5 easy camera hacks for you today that can spice up your videos, make it a bit dreamlike, and are really easy. All you need to do is have some household items. A vintage lens is very helpful, but you can do this with any lens. I'm using a lighter. I'm using my pocket knife, which is easy, but you can use any kitchen knife as well. And we're playing around with some fishing wire. So just random stuff that you got carrying around, that you're carrying around or got laying around in the house probably. By the way, what do you guys think of the garden? Looks pretty good, right? Yeah. To be honest, can't complain. This is all pretty sweet with this kind of weather. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, hope you guys like that intro. So that little sequence is what I put together from the images that I got using these techniques. And I'll do a voiceover and show you what I did to get these results. Hope you like it. Let's get into it. Right, so first off is the fishing wire. As you can see, I've got 2 threads in front of my lens to create this sort of light leak effect. I must say, first time I tried it, it does look cool. I'm assuming that if you put some harsh lights on it from the side, it will create a bigger effect. Right, so the second one is actually called lens whacking. You do not attach the lens to your camera, but instead you hold it in front of it. This is why a vintage lens would be useful, because you can manually adjust the focus and see if you can get somewhere that will work. You can get big light leaks into your camera by moving it away from the sensor, and you can just completely wash the image out even if you want to do that. So the third one is using the knife in front of your lens. If you use it at the bottom of the lens where it's just getting in or out of the image, you can see it sort of blurs out part of the image, and you also get like a nice streak of light reflecting off the knife. If you use a clear knife instead of the matte finish that I had on my knife, you can get like a really nice reflection into your lens. Next up is something that is a bit dodgy, but it works pretty well to get this sort of vintage orangey look. It's holding a flame in front of your lens. So the light, like the orangey light of the flame, will reflect into the lens and creates this vintage look that you can see right here. And the last one is shooting through a glass, which is actually as simple as it sounds. You just either place a glass in front of your camera or hold it in front of there with your hands. Make sure the glass is completely out of focus, and then you get like these nice bokeh dots from the rim, and a lot of like blurriness and just out of focus elements through the glass, so you can actually really put the attention of an image on a certain point that you want and blur out the rest with the glass. It differs whether you hold it horizontally or vertically, so you can also mess around with that for a bit. And yeah, if you just keep at it, then you get these really nice bokeh balls just popping up, like sort of a light leak lens flare type of thing with a lot of blurriness. So I think this one came out like probably the best when it comes to a dreamy effect. Alright, so those were the 5 little things that you can do to get this like weird dreamy look with like light leaks and all that in there. The only thing I did was add some vintage layer on top to give it a bit more of that like grain and like little specks and stuff like that. But furthermore is just cutting it up and throwing it through an edit and seeing if you find some transition possibilities. Like for example that lens whacking where you get like a bunch of light onto your sensor. Like your image gets completely washed out, so it's pretty much a dip to white transition that you would do in your edit. So I hope you guys get something out of this. Maybe you can mess around with it. This works just as well for photography. It's just one image instead of 24 per second, pretty much. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you liked it. I hope you stay creative and stay healthy, and take care. Hey, you guys know what time it is? It's nap time.